So why don't you start with telling me, a little bit about who you are and what you do?
Yes, so I'm Courtney Elmer. I am a speaker and a business coach in New Orleans, and I show busy mompreneurs how to stress less and feel clear and focused and in control of their life and their business. So that's the nutshell version.
Yeah, I love it.
Which Carissa helped me develop.
Aw. Yeah. Well, everybody needs, seriously, I do not know one mompreneur who does not need what you do. And so, yeah, awesome. Awesome. So you came into the Readers on Demand workshop. And so what were some of your biggest challenges prior to joining Readers on Demand?
Well, the thing that really attracted me was it's kind of twofold. Like one, I had written a book, or I was in the process at the time of writing a book. And so I really was curious to know, marketing from for an author, and how to learn and navigate that whole thing, and how the book really fits into my business as a whole, and how it was going to be kind of like a point of leverage and another piece, another offering, and how that would really kind of work with what I already had going on. So that was one piece I was curious about. And then the second piece that really attracted me was just the marketing system and having that run like a well-oiled machine. I had felt like I wasted so much time really, just spinning my wheels, not really knowing, I would sign up for this webinar, this training, or invest in this program, and nothing had ever really brought it home for me as far as a simple, clear, actionable plan that would bring in consistent leads who I could then nurture, and then eventually, hopefully some of those become clients down the road. And I wanted to know what that process looked like and have someone really lay it out for me, because I'm very much a doer. I'm very much an action taker. I can do the work. But knowing what that process was, I didn't have that. And so that's really what attracted me way in the beginning, because I was like, ooh, yeah, if I could learn this, then that would be amazing.
Yeah, I hear that from literally everyone, that it's like knowing what to do is like the first thing. They're like, I don't know what to do. And then the second thing is, and then even if I did know what to do, I don't know how to do it.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. I think it's a struggle for so many for all of us as business owners. We have these big ideas, but it's how do I break them down and make them actionable so that I could actually achieve them? And we get stuck in the weeds sometimes, and we wind up frustrated and unfulfilled. And, some of us go as far as closing the doors of our business. And it's like, no, if we just had that strategy and that plan and someone just show me. I've always said this. I say this to my clients too. Like, I'm that person who can hold your hand and walk you through it and, talk you down off the ledge, so to speak. Like, it's not that scary. You can do this. You've got this. It's just about having that clear plan. But being a business owner myself, I can't always see, I need that outside perspective, just as I'm that way for my clients. I'm that person for my clients. I need that too. So you've been that person for me, and that has been awesome.
Thank you. Good. I'm so glad to hear that. Yeah, because you're 100% right. Every single one of us, we get stuck in our own head. And there's so much information overwhelm in the world, and it's like, so I absolutely love like the opportunities that we have in today's day and age, like the fact that we can completely be a successful author and run a successful business without ever having to leave our living room, that's amazing. But at the same time, kind of, our greatest strength's also our greatest weakness, right? Like that, being able to have those opportunities in a digital world, the downside of that is that there's so much just information, there's so much stuff, and that it really does. It's like it paralyzes you, to know what do I do and then how do I do it, and just so yeah. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yes, of course.
How did those that challenge make you feel? How did it impact your life?
I was frustrated. I was so frustrated because I had such big ideas and a big vision for my business. But then when it came down to the day-to-day work, knowing what to focus on can be a challenge for us. Just like you said, we're so inundated with information, and it's like, okay, what's going to be the right information for me? And, just because I am a teacher for some, I'm also a student in other ways. There's things that I need to learn and I need to know, and none of us know what we don't know, and we need someone to show us what we don't know. And so I knew that the marketing piece of it is not my zone of genius. Like, I am amazing at what I do speaking and coaching wise, but marketing, not so much. That has been like a huge learning curve for me. And so I needed a way to shorten the learning curve. And I was like, I'm just tired of trying to figure this out on my own and frustrated that, I felt like I couldn't get to where I wanted to be because I didn't have the time and energy to put into learning everything I would need to learn in order, to have an understanding of where I needed to be. I'm like, I need someone to help me shorten that learning curve.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Absolutely.
but it was the frustration for sure that was the sticking point.
Yeah, totally. What changed, or how did that change after joining RODW?
Oh gosh, just the clarity. The clarity has been so energizing. I mean, I have my whole notebook here of everything, all of our calls together and all the notes I've taken and how it applies to my business, which was huge for me. Because a lot of times you go through programs and it's like, okay, that's good, but how does that apply to my business? And you really showed me how to take what you're teaching and apply it to my unique business. And so that was invaluable. And I'm like so excited now because I see, I'm connecting with people. I've always kind of been fearful of, and this was something I learned in the program about myself, was I've had this fear of running a digital business because I'm such a person that's a relationship person, a connection person, that I was afraid that people wouldn't feel connected with me, through a screen. They would feel like, oh, it's just another person trying to sell me stuff, or whatever. And you have showed me the complete opposite, because not only have you given me the system to use, just in helping me go through, my emails and here's some tips, okay, maybe say it this way or do this way, or here's a suggestion, and me making those tweaks. And I get responses to my emails all the time now. I mean, people pour in my inbox, and I've had everything from, I've never felt such like connection, and like you are just so authentic, and it's the first email in a long time I've ever even responded to, because I feel like you're just easy to talk to and I know you, like. So that has been huge for me, because not only did you teach me, like I said, the system part of it, the technique part, but also just that connection piece that was important to me, and it's showing. So thank you, because that's been, a huge change. Huge.
I love it. Oh, I love that. That's amazing. That's awesome. And that just really reflects your heart and like your commitment too, right? To, in our digital world, not lose that connection and that integrity, and like just, so I love it. Thank you. What specific results or breakthroughs did you experience either during or after RODW?
I think that was definitely one of them that I just touched on, that it is possible to have a digital business and have that connection, that I so crave, and that I think a lot of women, the women that I serve, crave.
Absolutely.
Because running a digital business can be very lonely. Like, yeah, it's great to stay in your PJs and work from your living room and, have the flexibility to be with your kids and whatever you need to do. But it can also be very lonely in that we often don't have people in our circle who get it. Yeah. And so showing me that it is possible to have that connection, even while running an online business, was huge. That was definitely huge. And then just the fact that, knowing what to focus on, that's it. That's the key to everything. Like, that's the key to success in business, just knowing what to do and then doing it. Yeah. And I'm just so proud of myself for having gone through that and done it. Like the big heavy things that were on my to-do list, like create a new opt-in, like, oh, I got to do that. And, set this up and this up. The things that I had just been dragging along my to-do list, you helped me get them done and checked off. And it's just a great feeling. So thank you for that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. Well, and I think that's, part of too, like, you had mentioned earlier about like, you've been trying to do it all on your own, right? And then versus, making the investment, which was a hefty investment, for some, for a lot of people, this is the most that they've ever spent and invested in themselves and in their career and their business. And so the difference is that when you make that investment, it automatically creates instant accountability, right? Mm-hmm. And so it's like, you probably, like you said, you probably knew like, oh, I need to create an opt-in. I need to do these things. But until like you had that like instant accountability, it's like, it's easy to just kind of let it pile up. And then going through the program, and I say this not even so much about like RODW, but just about things that I've done for myself, that focus and that accountability, and that's like, do this, now do this, now do this, that step by step, kind of like you said, clarity really is what for me, and I would love to hear from you about this, if it's true for you or not. That is what has made the financial investment worth every single penny versus the time and sanity investment that I was giving. It was costing me really, like before I had that, you know. I don't know if that's kind of similar for you or not, but I know that's been true for me.
Yes. Oh, 100%. I can remember back the very first time that I ever invested in a business coach and a mentor. It was close to a 5-figure investment, and that scared the heck out of me. It was more than I had invested in anything in my life, more than I had ever invested in my business, and more than I had ever invested in myself. And so there was that question there of like, am I even worth this? You know, like, is this even going to work? You know, and, you know, I know even in just from working with women, that's something that holds them back so much is whether or not they're worth that investment, you know, because it's from the big down to the small. We feel guilty on spending time on ourselves, spending money on ourselves. You know, it can be a sticking point for a lot of us and a scary thing. But what I knew was that if I didn't jump off the ledge and have that person to hold me accountable and catch me on the way down, then I was just going to stay stuck on the ledge, you know, for the rest of my life and my business. And I didn't want that. Like you said, it was like, what was it costing me? You know, yes, it might cost me this in terms of dollars to get the result that I want, which in the long run is not a cost. It's an investment because you get back on the back end. But it was costing me the success that I knew I was capable of having in my business, not having that, you know, staying stuck on that ledge and not actually going anywhere. And, you know, it taking a lot longer to get to where I wanted to go because I'd have to take all the time and the energy and the effort to learn what I need to learn to get to where I want to be. So after that first experience, and then on the back end, you know, reaping the benefits of that in terms of just the growth of my business and all of that skyrocketing in a way that I couldn't imagine, I have always said that, like, I will always have a mentor to teach me what I don't know. And this was, you know, going through this program with you was one of those areas where I'm like, I need the help with the marketing, you know, and how all of these puzzle pieces fit together for my business. Because now that I've been in business for a while, okay, now I need to get to the next level. And I need someone to show me how to do that. So yeah, absolutely. And I know what it's like to have that fear of investing, but I consider the alternative. And I'm like, I won't be able to get there without it. I won't be able to get to where I want to be without it. So
yeah. That's awesome. I love that, Courtney. That's great. I love that your ledge, like, you know, analogy or metaphor or whatever. I'm not a grammar, even though
you know, right? I'm an author, but you know, I don't even know. I don't know.
It's like that's the editor's job, not my job. I do marketing, not grammar.
Focus on your zone of genius, right?
Totally. Yeah, that's I love it. That's really awesome. That's a perfect picture. So awesome. So, what would you say to somebody on the fence about joining RODW? I
would say that I know it's scary. It might be scary. Maybe, like you said, it may be the biggest investment you've ever made in anything in your life. Maybe the biggest investment you've ever made in yourself. But consider the alternative. Like, where are you right now? You know, where are you right now? And is that really where you want to be? And ask yourself that question. You know, will this help me get to where I want to go? If you believe that it will, which it will, I'll tell you that it will. But yes, then do it. Yes, it's going to be scary. You know, no one in business has gotten to the successful place that they are today without doing things that scare them. I mean, you've probably seen all those memes on the internet that's like, you know, your comfort zone's over here and like everything else you want in life is like way over here or way outside of it. And it's so true. Like, yeah, it's going to feel scary, but if you don't take the risk, if you aren't willing to jump off the ledge, then you will always stay where you are. So be willing to take the leap. That's all you have to do. And know, and Carissa's going to catch you on the way down. I promise. Like, she's been amazing. But know that it's an investment in yourself, and trust yourself enough to know that you will make that investment back. I mean, I can't tell you the thousands of dollars I've invested in things, but I trust myself enough now to know that I will make that investment back with the new knowledge that I gain. It's the price to pay. You know, it's the cost of playing. You know, you got to pay to play. So.
Yeah, totally. 100%. Let me ask you this. This isn't on my question list, but I just thought about it. What made you decide to join RODW versus something else, right? Because there's a bajillion different things out there in the world, right? So what was it that gave you the confidence to say, you know what, if by by investing in myself in this area with Carissa and with RODW, I know I'll get the return back, right? Like through in your email list and your, you know, your platform and your books and your clients and just everything. What gave you the confidence to say, yep, I can do that with this?
You did.
Oh,
well, no, I mean that because of the high touch, hands-on piece of what you do with your clients. And I knew that this wouldn't just be another program, because I've done all kinds of things, right? Things where I do have a mentor, things where it's just more online and you have to go at your own pace through it, you know, and it's not that those things are bad, but there's a piece that's missing from those, and it's the accountability, hands-on, high-touch piece. And you provide that here. And that was the thing that really attracted me, because I knew it wouldn't be just another program or just another thing, and that it wouldn't necessarily be on my shoulders to get it checked off my list, you know, and that would take me longer to get to, or say I had to go through whatever many modules, you know, and I'm like, okay, now when am I going to get to that? When am I going to get to that? You being there to guide me and then to answer those questions that popped up as I would go through the material. Okay, but what about this? Or how do I apply what you're teaching here to me? And having that high touch aspect has been amazing. And that was really the motivating piece for me, because I knew that I would get through it and have it finished and complete, and could tie, you know, my doer type, check it off the list personality, could tie it up with a pretty little bow and be like, okay, done. Yes. Awesome. Like a huge win. But then at the same time, knowing that what I would learn from you, someone who's walked that path ahead of me, and could say, okay, these are the steps, just go here, 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 and here, and you'll be good. So that was it for me.
Cool. Good. Well, I'm so glad that I was able to give you that. That's wonderful. That means a lot. So thank you. Is there anything else that you like to add, for just in thoughts? And it doesn't have to be good. Like, it can be if there's something you would have changed, or just whatever, any thoughts at all?
No, I mean, I think we pretty much covered it. I would say, you know, if you're on the fence and you're just deciding if this is for you, trust yourself enough to take the leap of faith. You know, that's really what it boils down to. I think as business owners, you know, and I could get on my soapbox about this, but I'll spare you. But as business owners, we doubt ourselves more than we think we do. And we doubt ourselves enough in a way that keeps us stuck and keeps us from moving forward. And you have the potential within you to create whatever you want to create, but don't let it be harder than it has to be. You know, don't put too much pressure on yourself to where it's harder than it has to be, and to where you're alone and trying to figure it out on your own, because that spark will fizzle if that's the case. You know, it's hard to keep fanning that flame when you're overwhelmed and inundated by all the information and not really knowing what's right for you. So investing in yourself with someone who can show you what's right for you, you know, whether it's this program or any program going forward, do it, because it's going to teach you what you don't know in order to shorten that learning curve and help you have that success a whole lot faster.
Yeah, that's one thing. You touched on something that I love that you brought up, that when that flame starts to fizzle out and that doubt starts coming, what actually ends up happening is that we then create basically like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yes.
Right? So we go into something thinking, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I'm good enough. Like you said, I don't know if I'm worth it. I don't know if this can really be true for me like it is for all these other people. And then we, like you said, we basically keep ourselves stuck because we don't get the help we need. We don't learn what we don't know and all of these things. And so then we're going and we're wearing ourselves out by trying to figure out what we don't know in a world of crazy information overload. And so then what happens is that we, like you said, we begin to fizzle. Our motivation, our motivation goes down and our avoidance goes up, you know? And it's like, and then all of a sudden we're like, see, I knew I didn't have it in me. I knew I wasn't capable. I knew I couldn't do whatever. And it's like, actually, no, you did. You have every piece in you capable, and the potential in you is limitless. You just have to know what you don't know and have someone there keeping you accountable so you don't get off track. And if you have that self-fulfilling prophecy, it just goes away, you know? And so people think that it's themselves, like it's a reflection of them. And it's like, no, it's just a reflection of how you're going about it. You know, that's external. That's not about you. That's not your worth or your capabilities. It's just the action, the way that you're taking action. So just take action in a different way, in a better way, you know?
Right.
So
Yes. Yeah, 100%. I mean, we all know this, right? It's like you can recite this in your sleep, but it's like you can't expect a different result until you do things differently. You know, the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. And it's like, yeah, we do that in our business every single day. So dare to do something differently, you know, try it. What's the worst that can happen, you know?
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Absolutely. And I know, how long did it take you? How long have you been dabbling or learning or trying to build your list before RODW?
Oh my goodness, like 2 years?
Okay, yeah.
At least at a minimum?
Yeah.
Minimum 2 years, easy. And we went through this in 10 weeks. Like, hello, you know? In fact, I went in yesterday, just a couple days ago. It was sometime this week, you know, just kind of looking at what we had created and just checking in on it, making sure everything was where it needed to be and everything. And it's just like, yes, it's working. It's just running like a well-oiled machine. Like, I'm not even having to do anything other than check it and just kind of keep the finger on the pulse. You know, the work piece of it has been done, and now it just operates. And I'm like, this is so nice.
Right? I know.
It's all in my mind. It's not that thing in the back of my mind, you know, contributing to my mental load anymore, saying like, you got to get to that. You got to get to that. When are you going to get to that? It's done. So yeah,
it's awesome.
Amazing. Thank you.
That's wonderful. I'm so glad to hear that. That's awesome. Well, Cole, thank you so much, Courtney. I so appreciate you. You have been a joy, like a joy to work with. And I definitely think everyone on here should go to you and learn how to get what's your phrase? Get more done doing less. Is that what it is?
Have it all without having to do it all.
Yes. So yeah, any moms out there, especially business moms, yeah, like I feel like sometimes the to-do list can be like the Santa Claus list, you know.
And there's never enough elves. There's never any elves. Like you're the one elf. Like
you are the
all day. Like, oh my gosh.
Well, you are Santa, you are Mrs. Claus, and you're all the elves all in one. Like, yeah. That's so funny. Well, awesome. Well, thank you, Courtney. I so appreciate you. And if there's anything at all that I can continue to do for you, any way I can support you, any if you're having questions, anything, like just feel free. You know where I'm at. So just reach out to me. Let me know. I'm happy to help.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.